p.m. Central African time as we turn our sights now to Uganda. The country is set to receive a major financial boost from the World Bank. This is after nearly 2 years of suspended lending. The global lender had pledged more than $2 billion in new financing, and this will happen over the next 3 financial years in order to support key development projects in Uganda. According to the Finance Ministry Permanent Secretary Ramathan, the funds will target sectors such as transportation, energy, the ICT sector, as well as agriculture. Now, this move marks the World Bank's renewed engagement with Uganda. This follows a freeze linked to the country's controversial anti-LGBTQ law. For more on this afternoon, we're joined by Godber Tumushabe, Associate Director at the Great Lakes Institute for Strategic Studies, a Kampala-based policy think tank. A very good afternoon to you. Good to have you with us on African Business. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So on the economic rationale, given Uganda's current debt levels and borrowing costs, do you think that taking on over $2 billion in new World Bank financing is indeed a sound move for the long-term economic stability of the country? Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, for sure. Uganda, as a country where we are now, we really need a very, very serious injection of cash to be able to develop the necessary economic infrastructure that is able to build a strong economy.
When we look at where these funds are going to be funneled to, according... Have we lost you? Are you still there, sir?
So yes, I am.
All right. We did lose you there. We did lose you there for... Yes, we can hear you. So we did lose you there for a moment. So if you could just please indulge us and just start with your answer from the top, if you could please, sir.
No, basically I was saying that where the country is right now, we need a very serious injection of cash to be able to invest aggressively in building the economic infrastructure that would act as a foundation for building an economy. Because Uganda basically has no money. We don't have many things to sell. We don't have our major cash inflows come from coffee, or this comes from diaspora remittances. But we need to invest in improving the transport infrastructure, the tourism infrastructure, the ICT infrastructure, and agriculture infrastructure and value addition. So the injection of this money is definitely a good timing. The only downside of it is that we have a very big, expensive, and wasteful government. So in other words, unless the government reorganizes itself, that there is a major restructuring of government to make it small, make it lean, and make it efficient, that money definitely would not deliver the expected outcomes.
And on that very point, Mr. Tumushabe, this is not the first time that these various sectors have been highlighted as centers or sectors in need of financial injection: transport, energy, ICT, and agriculture. These are sectors that have been cited in previous loans. So what's going to be different this time? What is it that gives you confidence that these projects will actually see the light of day, that they will actually be completed, especially because it's not the first time around?
No, incidentally, I must confess that I don't have the confidence. It's a wait and see game. I know that the team in the Ministry of Finance, led by my friend Ramathan Ggoobi, is a very, very dedicated team. These are very highly respected professionals trying to manage the economy. We have a very dedicated team at Bank of Uganda dealing with the macroeconomics. The problem is that the moment this money moves into the sectors, the different sectors, because I work with them at a policy level, I work with many policy makers in the different sectors of government, and you can see that there is a very, very high fatigue within government in terms of efficiently and effectively executing projects. Remember that we are dealing with the government where the president has been around for 40 years now. He's completing 40 years this year. He has been in power. So whenever there are governments where presidents overstay in power, they end up staffing government with very, very inefficient, with unqualified people, actually, including in cabinet. So we don't have a cabinet that can really, where you can say, this cabinet is going to be very judicious and run government efficiently, because the cabinet is big, bloated, and inefficient. So I wouldn't say that I'm confident. I can only say this is a wait and see game to see whether this really would change anything. Remember that we are a country that is highly in debt. We are highly indebted. Our interest rates are basically through the roof. Borrowing from commercial banks in this country now, you're borrowing the highs of about 20 to 30%. So it's a very challenging economic situation we are in. But if the World Bank did not bring in the money, the possibility of default and running broke definitely would be there, because our inflows really in terms of economic activity are not as solid as you would want to expect.
I mean, as you're saying, there are no changes in government, still the same government, still the same infrastructure that the World Bank is funneling their resources into. So really, it sounds like another wasted project. But what is it that needs to happen in order to ensure that there is transparency and to ensure that there isn't going to be any misallocation of funds or corruption in the management of these World Bank funds? Does the World Bank in and of itself have any jurisdiction over how these funds are funneled after disbursement?
No, I don't think that the World Bank has really a big say on how the money is spent. The government has tried. Incidentally, at the policy level, there is a very deliberate efforts to get some things done and done properly at the policy level within certain ministries and agencies. At the broader strategic political level, the narrative and the context is that this is a wastage. This is a government that will spend money, and even if there are no results, the government is happy to proceed and spending. Because you see, if you think of the roads infrastructure, this government needs to invest massively in opening up the country in terms of the road network. I think the best example that can be given is the roads that have been opened in the oil region. This is in Western Uganda. So if the same discipline can be used to invest the money that has been borrowed, maybe there is something that can come out of it. But when you look at the economic policies of government, the way they are basically investing in at subsistence level and lacking strategic direction and strategic investments that drive the economy. I think that's where the challenge is. And World Bank money is always money that is not it's not very helpful in terms of how you transform a country. If the government is not smart, is not efficient, World Bank money will come in and it will be spent, and you look for where it has been spent and you can't find it, because that's the history in this country is very, very littered with those examples.
Right. So, Mr. Tumushabe, we'll leave it at that for now. And, hopefully we'll be able to keep track of the developments in Uganda, whether it will be, the same old, or whether there will actually be difference, and whether there will be investments into those really crucial infrastructure sectors. We thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's Mr. Godber Tumushabe. He's Associate Director at the Great Lakes Institute for Strategic Studies, a Kampala-based policy think tank. It is exactly 27 minutes after 4 p.m. In just a moment, we continue a conversation that we started yesterday all around wind energy in South Africa.
African enterprise meets global